rounding it up and winding it up. Okay,
Okay.
so what we're going to do is we have questions for you, and we're going to start with Amy.
Hi,
Okay.
Yashi. The first question I have for you is can you tell me a little bit more about yourself?
Hi, Amy. So, my name is Yashi and I'm from India. I'm 23 years old and I'm currently studying in Florida to be a pilot. And I like modeling, I like dancing, and I have been in the US for 4 years. And in these 4 years, I have been trying to volunteer and trying to participate in different activities. And being a pilot, I have been exploring options about what I want to do. So I am currently trying to train for the Navy. And yes, on the side, I'm also trying to get more involved in modeling activities. I recently applied for New York Fashion Week. So it's been going good.
Hi, Ashi. This is Alex. I saw on your some of your things that you're planning on doing is you're going to be in NOAD as an intern next year.
Mhm.
What made you try to go into that? Because usually there's not too much aviation in that.
Yes. So, because I am not a US citizen yet, I have always wanted to be a part of a government organization. I mean, as much as I like commercial flying, I just like discipline. I like purpose. So, I have always been fascinated by the Navy, and the NOAA has a Hurricane Hunter. I have always been interested about that. So, the best thing I thought would be interning with them. So, that's what I'm trying to do in the oceanic department.
Okay, then. Okay, Yashi, share with us one challenge women face in their pursuit of a career in the aviation field, and how can this obstacle be removed?
Thank you for your question. And being a woman in aviation, I have always noticed that some of my other friends have been always favored by some of the authorities in our school. And just because they think that girls are not as confident or maybe not as good as flying as men. But I think because there is a lot of initiative like the women in aviation and all the girls are trying to be in a field that is male dominated, and I think the best way we can overcome this is by um, uh, I think the best way to overcome this is to challenge the girls more and helping them overcome this fear that they might not be accepted in this industry, and that would help them be a part of this more.
Okay, so I remember when you did your introduction, you talked about volunteering and stuff. What are some volunteering work that you have done? And yeah.
So, the airport in Lakeland is hub for one of the biggest air shows in the country. It's called Sun and Fun, and every year I try to volunteer in any of the field that is available. Last year, I volunteered for the lightweight and experimental category aircrafts. It was a great experience, and I did that because this is something I am interested in. But other than that, I have also volunteered in a couple of nursing homes for older people, and I just love their company. They are the sweetest people to be around, and I know that they do need help and support with a lot of things, and I love providing it for them.
Um, do you, I know Yashi, I think it said that you are graduating from your pilot school. Do you know what you're trying to do after that, or do you have anything lined up per se?
Yes, so when I graduated high school, I just started flying. I have never been to college, so after I complete my pilot's license, I'm trying to enroll in a college program so that I have a 4 year degree that I can show the Navy and continue my flying with them.
Okay. My question is, why aviation? What
Um,
set you off there?
So I have always seen my parents. They both have desk jobs, and at a very early age, I realized this is not what I want to do. And my uncle, my grandfather, they both were in the Navy, and I have seen them travel the world. I have always been interested what is out there, how the people are in different countries and like different religions. And I've always wanted to see that.
Right, thank you. Go.
Okay, so like from your list of modeling and pageant experience, I see that you have 2 pageant lists up for next year. So I was just wondering, like, are you planning to do all 3 pageant next year? And like, if you are, how are you planning to like manage that? And like,
So the Miss Grand Florida, I applied for it, and the pageant is going to be in May, so that is not going to be a problem. And it wasn't much of a competition. They needed someone to fill up the title, so I applied for that, and I'm going to be competing in May. So that is out of the way.
okay.
Okay. All right, so we're getting close to our 7 minutes. So my question to you is like, we've asked you some questions already. What questions do you have for us?
I think I just want to know, are there any certain qualities that you look for in people who are trying to join this pageant?
Ooh, good question. Alex?
I think we're just looking for people who are not just beautiful in appearance, but also those who have diverse personalities, diverse cultures and backgrounds. So they're not just all like, say, business students or West Coast people, sort of something. So we value the diversity, and we value the confidence and the ability for people to learn or try to take something out of this. Because as much as we attempt to teach you, it doesn't work if you don't accept any of those teachings per se.
So we want to share not only what we know, but also we want to learn from you, because learning is always a two-way street. And so we would like to also be able to be part of your life, in a matter of speaking, All right.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Yashi, it was awesome seeing you again. And thank you so much for coming in. And we should be in touch with you as soon as we can. All right. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
And welcome to the 2024 MAG interviews. We are your judging panel. I'm Janice, and we're going to be asking you for the next 7 minutes some questions, all right? So we're going to begin with Amanda.
Hello. I'm gonna kick it off with, what does it mean to you to be a modern woman today?
So to be a modern woman today, it's to be your authentic self. And being your authentic self is a little difficult if you have a rough childhood with the noises in society. But if you stick to your own authentic self by self-reflecting and having the courage to explore yourself and take risk, you can use these challenges to improve yourself and learn more and discover about yourself.
Thank you. Alex?
Yeah, nice to meet you. I see that one of your fun facts was that you've been deciding to join this pageant for the last 10 years. Why now as opposed to earlier?
Oh, so yes, I'm really excited to be here because I've waited 10 years for this moment. And to be honest, growing up, I lived in an environment where I had difficulties expressing myself. But after meeting a friend, I was able to realize that I no longer want to let my fears get to me. And I decided that I want to be my authentic self and use MAG's platform to express myself and put the pieces I've lost during my childhood to represent who I am more.
Okay. For like a follow-up question, since you've been waiting 10 years to do this pageant, is there anything you have done to prepare yourself for this application and stuff like that?
Yes, so for the past 10 years, I was 17 at that time. So there was a lot of financial issues or insecurities that I had to face. But then starting in 2020, I've reached out to Francis and I reached out to Emily, and a lot of the previous delegates, and I've realized that this is the chance that where I can express myself and use this platform to just be myself.
Okay. Elise, you used the
Yes.
phrase authentic self. Give me your definition of what exactly authentic self means or authentic me.
So
What exactly
being your
do you mean?
authentic, yeah. So being your authentic self means having courage, because courage is such a strong word, but it's undervalued. But a lot of people tend to not understand the usage of what courage means. So I decide to understand and use the fears that I had instead of making it push me to not take any actions and just stay away from the difficulties and challenges. I want to utilize the fears to self-reflect and explore and grow. So that means even the little steps that I've taken, I want to use that to show like who I am.
Okay. Thank you.
You kind of talked a little bit about your upbringing. What do you think parents can learn from their children?
So growing up, I had a rough childhood because I had a large family growing up, and because of that, I was told to discover more about what makes my family happy instead of what makes me happy. So I believe gentle parenting and treating your kids like as a person themselves and not just a model of who you are is a great way to let them explore and discover who they are, or else it'll be difficult for them to manage life skills, social skills, networking skills, skills that you need in life. And I believe it's really important for parents to just treat their child as a person that they want to see as like for the future generation.
Thank you.
So I see too through the documents and resumes that you submitted that you are currently in the textile industry, but you want to go into UX and UI design. Why such a drastic shift? Because that's a pretty big job change.
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much for asking that. Well, first of all, because I was always an artistic student, but I never really pursued that because my parents wouldn't be proud of it. They would be proud if I did something related to science or math, but because I was doing art, it wasn't something that makes them proud of who I am. So I wasn't able to express that artistic self. But I met a friend last year and she graduated with a statistic degree, but she decided to pursue a design career, which really inspired me to just take the leap of faith because she didn't have any art background, but she just did it because she loved art. So that really inspired me that time is ticking, life is always moving. You have to make the decision of what you want to do instead of what your parents want to do. So that made me decide to improve myself and be more open with my artistic skills. And as we're speaking today, I am actually finishing up my UX certification and hopefully land a design career by next year.
Awesome.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, so the question I have for you is that if there's one thing that people can remember you for, what would that one thing be?
So as my platform that I've decided is to be your authentic self, I would like people to remember me by knowing that I'm the safe space and able to coach. Because without my friend who was able to inspire me, I feel like what we need is to not feel alone. So being the person who can help others self-reflect and grow, I think that's a great way to be remembered by.
All right. Well, Elise, we are coming close to your 7 minutes. I know it just whizzed by, doesn't it? So
It really went by fast.
I know. So for your minute, do you have a question for us?
So let's see. I'd like to know what makes MAG different from other pageants?
The crew.
I'll take it. I'll
Go
take
for
it.
it.
I've participated in a few pageants in the past, and 12 years later, I'm still part of the MAG family. And I think what sets MAG apart is that truly they are a family and a community to you, and not just until pageant night, but beyond in your life and in your career, and kind of like all aspects, right? So I feel very like blessed to have kind of this community and family. Even to this day, you know, I feel like everyone really just cares about everybody's well-being. And so that's kind of, I think, what sets MAG apart.
I think the other thing that I would like to add is, as I said, we are family, we're a core group. And one of the things is not only are we there as a network, we are for you to support, and we're also your resource. So if you ever have really the weirdest question, one of us will have an answer for you. If we don't know the answer, we're your encyclopedia, seriously. But
Wow.
you know, yeah, so there you go. That's one of the things that's why we've been around for this long, because we support each other always. All right.
I see. Based
But-
on how you guys answered the question, I could see the connection, the family going on, which was really
Yeah.
sweet.
Oh, you haven't met Mommy Penny yet. You're gonna, that's your family. We'll talk
a
about.
lot more to the family.
Oh, big time. Yes. But Elise, thank you so much for your
Thank
time
you.
and everything. Your answers are wonderful. And we hope to chat with you in the near future. All right.
All right. Thank you so much for this opportunity as well. Have a good one.
Okay. Thank
Bye.
you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Gar. Okay. Good afternoon, Sonia. Hi, I'm Janice, and welcome to the 2024 MAG interviews, where you're judging panel this afternoon. And no, we're trying not to frighten you, but the bottom line is, for the next 7 minutes, we're going to ask a few questions of you to get to know you. All right. So are you ready?
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Okay. So we're going to begin our questions with Amanda.
Hello. I am going to start a question a little bit out of the resume, but how different do you think the world would be if women ruled the world?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me to the interview, and I am so glad that I can interview with all of you today. My answer for the question is that if women rule the world, I believe that there will be more empathy towards the motherhood that they can show to the familyhood and the world. I believe that if the women have more power over the society, then people will have more understanding of what happens to the female in their emotional state and also physical state, and how important these roles that we can show to the society and give to the society is. Then I believe that it can make our society into a better place and have more empathy and understanding to who we truly are. Thank you.
Thank you.
My question for you is, why did you want to run an art pageant this year?
Well, first of all, I was born in Korea and I lived in the United States and Canada and many cities during my childhood. And this experience got to make me grow a lot and appreciate many opportunities to learn. And when I was doing my grad school in Chicago, I got to meet with Victoria Ng, one of the Miss Asian Global alumni. And also I got to connect with Emily Smith from Hawaii, and I learned more about the pageant processes. And Emily told me about the Miss Asian Global, and what got me interested was both the beauty and the social platform segments. And that's why I wanted to join the Miss Asian Global. And if I were to be accepted in this pageant this year, and there is a social platform I want to speak about, and it will be the increased resource for immigrants who are the victims of domestic and gender-based violences. And this is because I was one of these people, and I had to learn how to navigate the legal systems due to this violences on my own without any helps from my friends or families. And I also had to face racism from the police authorities. And they told me that when I was seeking for help, that I should go back to my own country because America is not working out for me. So this is a bit about myself and why I wanted to join the Miss Asian Global, and why I am currently excited to get to interview with all of you today for this pageant. Thank you.
Okay.
Just like a little follow-up question and the information you have put on your application, you said you did the Illinois 40-hour domestic violence training by the network. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Of course. The 40-hour training is a training that you have to take. It's a mandatory training to be a professional advocate for domestic violence survivors. It's a training about general legal system and how we can help the survivors. So, for instance, there is a big nonprofit organization called Conwin in Illinois. It's a Korean woman in need. And if we take the 40-hour training, then we can help with the 24/7 hotline for the survivors. So I wanted to be more professional about what I want to speak up and what I wanted to advocate. So that's why I took the training with another nonprofit called The Network. Thank you.
Sona, for your social platform is very intriguing. So if you were going to present your social platform to on the night of the pageant, what would you like them to take away from your presentation?
There is a concept called survivor leadership in these kind of unfortunate incidents. And it means that if the survivors of these kind of violences speak up more about their incident and how they have navigated through to overcome these trauma, then it will show more leadership and more power to the people who are going through this. Because domestic violence could sound like a very unfortunate incident that can happen to certain types of people, but also unfortunately and clearly these kind of violences are around us and can happen to anyone and not just a specific social group. So I, as a survivor of the violence and speaking up as a survivor with the survivor leadership, I want people to know that this can happen to anyone, even them or people around them. So and they will have to advocate and have more open mind to these kind of incidents and how we can help the people around us. Thank you.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, we are closing in on our 7 minutes. And so on our last minute together, my question to you is, what questions do you have for us?
I always had this question on my mind, and I want to ask of you that why all of you are like so involved in this Miss Asian Global pageant and why you love the Miss Asian Global. Thank you.
No, you go take it.
Okay, I'll take it. So I participated in Miss Asian Global 12 years ago. And since then, it has been such a huge part of my life. Everyone has become a family, and it goes beyond the pageant stage. It goes beyond the training. I have a career because of the pageant. I met a CEO at an event, and now I've been at Salesforce for 10 years. So it's just really like all the connections, all the community, the family is really why I come back every year to help. And I really want to help kind of next generation of Asian American women excel in the workforce, excel in personal life, because I wish I had that when I was younger.
Mm-hmm. Does that help you? Excellent.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. And one of the things you will know if you become one of the delegates of our pageant is that we are very big. When we use the word MAG family, we are not kidding. We are connected to each other. Not only, it's like saying, well, these are, relatives from another parent, but what it is that we are a great support group. We are friends, we're colleagues, we support each other, and we are resource. We're support and resource. And so, if you are accepted and part of us, you will be surrounded by love. What can I say? All right?
Forever.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you like it or not.
Oh, God, you are stuck with us, talk about relative, we're really something. All right, but Sona, thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to chatting with you in the near future. All
Hey,
right.
thank you so much for interviewing me.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right then.
Go back.
Understand that you are I understand that you are in real estate. So of course, in that career, there's a lot of highs and lows. How do you handle disappointment?
How do I handle disappointment? That's a really good question because I'm disappointed every day. 99.99% of people that I meet will never do business with me. So that's really common. But it's good to know that I prospect every day. So there's always new leads coming in. I constantly host open houses. I join networking events. So I put myself in a place where I meet a lot of people. And with disappointment, it's always carrying on with the mindset that you just have to move on to the next one because most people will not do business with you. So it's just pushing forward and carrying on.
A question for you would be, why try to participate in our pageant and why now?
Why now? That's a great question. I've been scouted by MAG in the last few years prior, but I was just doing regular residential real estate. And recently I started doing probate real estate. So it's a niche that I focus on. And I really want to use MAG as a platform to speak to as many people and share my message that if you own property, if you own any land, you need to have a trust, or else everything that you own is going to go into probate court, which is the legal process for your descendants to transfer ownership of property. And it's really sad. I've helped a lot of families. I've seen families go through it. It's destroyed a lot of families too. It costs a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of stress with attorneys. So I found that I really like doing this niche part of real estate, which is probate. And sorry, I'm nervous. And I just wanted to share my message and help people understand and educate them that they need to have a living trust.
Took that question from me. But so can you tell me a little bit more about yourself other than working? Like, what are some like hobbies you do? Like, I know you say you play volleyball, and like, can you tell me a little bit more about like your hobbies and what did you like to do on your free time and stuff like that?
So in my free time, I'm a sporty person, so I like to go on a lot of hikes. I play volleyball. I'm joining a league next year in January, February. It's a co-ed league, so we play with guys and girls. I also craft a lot. I make cards with my mom. I actually bought some for you guys today.
Excellent.
So you guys can see this is the kind of cards that I make. You guys can choose whichever ones that you want. But we've been making cards since I was in high school.
Oh,
So
goodness.
we took card making classes, and it takes a lot of time because every item that we choose to use, you have to buy like a metal.
Oh, yeah, cut.
It's kind of like a cricket.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a fancy cricket. So we spend a lot of time crafting, and it helps crafting in sports. It helps me de-stress because sales is a high pressure job. So if I don't have my hobbies, I think I go insane.
I could, you just touch a point of my heart because I think about hobbies and everything like that. Because my sister's also into making cards and everything like that. I'd bring a sample too, but I did not know we were going to have that. Now, my question to you is like, let's go a little dig into yourself kind of thing. Can you share with us one memorable moment in time and what makes it so memorable for you?
One memorable in time. Oh my God, I might cry.
And it definitely is not working. You noticed that. Take a breath. Yeah, take a sip of water. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
It makes me like want to cry when I even think about it.
Well, I didn't mean to do that.
If I'm trying to be like honest.
Oh my
We want to see the authentic you.
Oh,
We got it.
yes, there, we got it. Well, I'm always carrying tissues. Oh, there you go.
I was not expecting to cry.
I wasn't expecting to make people cry so soon. I usually work at it.
To gather
Of
myself.
course,
Of
that's all we
course.
can gather yourself. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Can you repeat the question one
Okay.
more time?
Would you share with us one memorable moment in time and what makes it so memorable for you?
So when I was in college, I was in a abusive relationship, and I didn't share that with my parents because I was like, oh, like if I tell them, like they're never gonna accept him.
Mhm.
So I kept it a secret for, like 2 years, and it got to a point where I had police involved, and I had to finally tell my mom, and she said it was okay and to just come home. And my mother and I had a really rocky relationship at the time. But just that one phone call, it kind of just told me like how much he loved me, and it didn't matter if I made mistakes and if I didn't listen to her, like everything was okay, and I always had a home to go to.
Mhm.
And ever since that phone call, my mom and I have gotten a lot closer, and I feel like I can come to her with anything now, even with like my career. Her grandfather was a contractor, right? So real estate has been in our family for a couple generations. And even the big things, the little things, I can go to her with anything. And I didn't feel like that before. But it was that one long phone call that we had where she said, just drop everything, leave all your stuff. I don't care, just come home. I don't care if you have like, $5,000 to $10,000 worth of stuff down there, like just come home.
Mhm.
And that's changed my entire relationship with my mom and my whole outlook. And that's how I'm able to still live at home.
Mhm.
I'm happy to live at home. There's zero shame for me there. I know a lot of kids after college have some shame there, but it's just fun for me because I've had that experience with my mom. So that one moment literally like changed my life.
Or in other words, basically, stuff really doesn't matter. It's mom that really
There's
matters.
family that really matters.
Thank you for sharing that with
Thank
us.
you.
Okay, and wouldn't you know it, we're closing in on your 7 minutes. Doggone it. But the question of life for you, and we're going to extend it 1 minute more. Okay, Francis, we're going to extend it 1 minute so you get 8 minutes with us. All right. So Amanda, would you like to ask one last question before I interrupt and close up shop?
Sure. Thank you so much for sharing that story. That was incredibly impactful and really gave us a chance to really learn about you. And I think a follow-up question that really, I guess, leads into your story is, what do you think parents can learn from their children?
I think parents can learn that the way that they've taught their children and brought them up has a strong impact on how their children carries themselves. So because that I did, endure a lot from my relationship, it was always taught from my mom, like to never give up. So I think that's why I carried that with my relationship. Like, oh, I love this person. I'm not going to give up on them. But there's also a time where you need to learn like to draw a line and boundaries. I think boundaries is not something that's taught very well in Asian families. So that's something I've had to learn on my own and bring back to my parents to help us have a stronger and closer relationship.
Oh yeah, boundaries are just ridiculous with parents. We can all know about our own boundaries.
Yeah,
But
thank
alas,
you.
my darling, we do have to close up shop now. And so we will let you ask, what question would you like to ask us?
If you could go back in time to one specific moment and change something, would you do it?
I think those kind of questions, I'll take this one. That kind of question we usually ask a contestant, if you can go back into time, what would you like to do? Honestly, if I was given that question, and I have been given that question in a speech contest, the thing I would always say is that no, each action that you do because it happens. If you go back and try to change it, your whole, we've already gone through the multi-universe thing. Okay, we already done that. We're not doing that. So the question is basically every action is up to you. You make the choice, and it's up to you how you deal with it. So if I had to go back and change things, no, I wouldn't. It's just, I am the way I am. And I think each of us will deal with a different way. Okay. So I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody, but that's how I feel. Anybody?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good one, I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
maybe some
don't.
better financial choices.
Work on that part. We're really bad at this, yeah.
Yeah, I think we can't always control what happens to us, but what we can control is how we choose to react to it.
Yes.
So I think that's really kind of how it shapes who we are today, right? All the decisions and choices we've made. So me too, I don't think I would change anything, even though I had some horrible experiences in my life.
But one thing you note, if you happen to be able to be joining us in the next year, is that we are a hell of a supportive group. We are family. And even though we all come from different homes and everything like that, we all support each other. We all are great colleagues to each other. And, we know that we're all in for each other. And if you ever need a question or answer, we will try to find an answer for you, preferably a correct one. Okay, so does that answer your question? Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. I
appreciate it.
Oh, good God.
Oh, thank you. These are so pretty.
Oh my God, thank you. Well, women, Rebecca, yeah. Last name I had in my head. Okay, so welcome, Rebecca, to the 2024 MAG interview panel. And this afternoon, we're going to be asking you a few questions to get to know you. And, so it'll be for the next 7 minutes. And starting it off will be Amanda.
Hello. Of course, first glance, you have an incredibly impressive resume and background. And so I'm sure you kind of read a lot into technology and the technological advances in our society. How has the speed of technological advances hindered our emotional connection these days?
Okay, this is a very powerful and insightful question. Thank you so much for asking this. I think in today's world, because of the incredibly rapid advance of technology, there's been a huge disconnect between the people who are developing this technology and the people who are in perhaps like public service roles, putting in place the policies to protect citizens from maybe the adverse effects of these technologies. And so I would say that probably the biggest topic right now in mainstream media is, of course, the advancement of social media. Now, that's not exactly the space that I work in. I work in aerospace technology, but it is something that I do keep up with because I am very passionate about communicating STEM to the world. And so I would say, for sure, social media definitely harms the way, especially younger generations, harms the way that they're able to connect with their society, even the way that they're growing up. They're having much more screen time, rates of depression are higher. Yeah, I would say, and the best way to combat this really is to have more informed people in the White House, in policy roles, being able to help protect kids from the adverse effects of social media. I know a lot of good people are working on this right now.
Thank you.
So in the list of many things it seems like you have accomplished in your life, I noticed one of them is for a national writing competition. Can you explain more about what that was or what that was about?
Yeah. So I do have a huge passion in writing and communication because I do want to spread STEM to just the general public, as well as equitizing access to STEM for under minoritized communities. And so writing is something that I'm already very passionate about. And then I'm from Houston. And so I went to Chinese school every single weekend up until like grade 10. And I'm very close with my Chinese teacher there. And she knew about this writing competition. And I'm always looking for ways to improve my Mandarin skills. I did study abroad in China for 1 year last year. And all of the work that I put into my Chinese up until then, I really saw it come into fruition and paying off during that year. And so, it was just a national competition for overseas Chinese, like ABCs, for example, people who didn't grow up in a native Chinese speaking community.
Cool.
Awesome.
Amy?
There's a segment in MAG, the social platform. So I was wondering, what would your platform be? My social platform would be empowering women in STEM for sure. Because for me, now that I'm almost about I'd say 7 years into this field, I have realized that I've really suppressed my own Asian identity as well as femininity, trying to get to where I am in this career field. And now that I am this far and I guess have accumulated some accomplishments that have allowed me to gain more confidence in terms of who I am as an engineer, I really don't want other young girls to have to go through the same journey that I did in terms of really suppressing their true selves in order to feel that they're respected or that they can go far in the career field that they want to choose. I want them to be their best selves, their truest selves from the beginning, because I do think that that also pays off in terms of it also fuels their own passion for the field. And so that would definitely be my social platform for sure. Women in STEM.
Okay. Now we get to step one step away from career, and I want to talk about yourself. So my question to you is like, can you share with us one memorable moment of your life and why it affects you?
So this is many moments, but around the same topic. And as a young girl at about the age of 3, I was diagnosed with eczema, very severe eczema. And I, unlike other kids, did not grow out of it, by their teens. It followed me into my adulthood. And I would say that it's been a really difficult and intimate journey for me because I feel that when people think about beauty, they see what's on the outside. At least that's what I thought beauty was growing up. And so I never thought that I could do something like pageantry or modeling or anything where there's been a very sort of traditional view of what beauty is. But I would say now that at this age, I'm so grateful for this experience because it's made me see the world in a different light. Something that really drives me is having empathy. And I think I would be a much different person had I not been given this opportunity to face this challenge every single day. So I would not be who I am today without that experience.
Thank you for sharing.
Do we have more time?
Yeah, okay, go for it.
So obviously you're incredibly intentional with all of your experiences, your education, and it shows that you're a very dedicated, motivated person. How do you feel that an experience like Miss Asian Global would enhance your personal development?
So yes, in all of the things that I've been passionate about regarding my career, like I said before, I definitely have not approached it in a way where I've been very confident and a strong advocate and representation for my own femininity and my Asian identity. And I really see MAG as a way of helping me become more confident in that identity. And I really hope that through the MAG platform, I can also shed light on empowering women as well as Asian women to go far in STEM.
So unfortunately, we are getting close to your 7 minutes, okay? But so now we get to switch it over to you. So what question do you have for us?
I would love to know what your favorite memory has been in all the time that you've been working in MAG, or the most memorable or the most powerful.
I'll take it. I think the most powerful is when all of us are all together and the most weirdest thing occurred, and I can't even go to details of that one, but the moment that particular situation occurs, all of us are taken aback, but we all deal with it, but we all laugh about it because it just goes, well, that was weird. And we don't take it personally, it's just things happen. And so one of the nicest things is that we always support each other. And we are always each other's best friend. Well, I could think it safely say that. But we relate to each other very well, and nobody takes anything personally. At least we try not to, and stuff like that. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody want to? Amy.
My most memorable, right? So for me, because I was a past delegate, for me, my most memorable would be at pageant night when we're done with our everything, we're just waiting for the results. Like all the staffs and delegates, we were in backstage just waiting for like the result to come in. And it's just that moment of relief, and it's just like the delegates like being together. Like most of us were crying because we were so nervous, and there's just the staff like comforting us and stuff like that. I just feel like that moment just made me feel so safe. And I'm just like, yeah, this is my family, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think an experience I like to share with delegates and potential delegates that goes beyond the stage and the competition is, you know, I competed over 13 years ago, and I come back every single year to help because when I was at an event, I met Mark Benioff, and at the time I didn't know who he was, and from there it kind of skyrocketed my career, and I've been at Salesforce for 10 years now. So, you know, I think this experience goes so far beyond the stage and the competition, and everyone is a community, and you meet so many incredible people that can really kind of enhance your life in all aspects.
There's always opportunities out there. We're sort of facilitated. We just happen to have events, and it's up to each of us to meet the person that will make a change in their life. All right. But anyway, Rebecca, thank you so much for your time. We were so looking forward to meeting you. We saw this resume. Holy, you know what? So we definitely look forward to probably chatting with you in the near future then. Okay.
Okay, thank y'all
Thanks
so
for
much for
coming
this.
in.
Okay. We are going to be asking you a few questions to get to know you. And we have it for 7 minutes. Okay. And starting off the questions will be Amanda.
Hi. We'll go a little lighthearted first. How about what's something that only your best friends know about you?
My best friends would know that I think my favorite food is any type of soup.
Oh, okay.
So I'm genuinely so excited when I get like a good ramen. I know I can drink, or yeah, I can just drink straight up broth in the summer. So that's
Year
something my
round.
best friends would know. Yeah.
You're going to dinner with us. That's it. That's it. Go for it. Okay. All right, Alex.
Why decide to join this year in this pageant?
So why I want to do MAG, and I guess for this year, obviously, is one, because I'm so happy to see all the past delegates constantly volunteering with the org. I think that really shows how welcoming the organization is. And I also think that something that's really impressive is the diversity of people that support the organization. So I've been in 2 pageants before, and I think for those 2 reasons, that makes MAG really stand out to me.
What is one thing you wish people knew about you?
I think one of the many things I wish people knew is that I'm pretty adventurous to move to new places. So I've lived in 5 states across the US, and I never really have too many expectations going in because I just really appreciate people watching and meeting new people. So that's also another reason why I would be really excited to be in MAG.
Now, could you share with us? You used the phrase "people watching." Okay, so share with us one moment where you were watching people, and share that moment for us.
When I was 15, I was in New York by myself because I was dancing with the Bolshoi Ballet Academy. And I went to a park and I saw some tourists taking photos of each other, but they were taking selfies, and it was just a beautiful family. So I went up to them and I was like, "Oh, can I take your photo? Can I help you?" And they were a little surprised and asked me, where are you from? Why are you so extroverted? And we ended up taking a stroll together at the park, and it was really lovely just meeting new people.
Nice.
So we obviously live in the age of technology. Do you feel like social media is going the right way or the wrong way, and why?
I think as someone who has worked with WhatsApp and YouTube and Google X, I really see behind the scenes that people are genuinely trying to just form connections. And personally, I really love that yesterday I was able to talk to my friend in Shenzhen for like over an hour on Instagram. So I think it really forms great connections, but at the same time, I do realize the downside of having social media maybe prey on, just really sad young people. So I think that we need to do better in protecting young people from being exposed to egregious content.
Reading your platform message, why community parenting has been such a big impact for you?
Can you repeat your question? I'm sorry.
Sure. In your platform message, you wrote to us, you described community parenting. Can you help describe what that is and why that was such a big impact on you?
Thank you. So, community parenting, when I say that, I think back to when I grew up in the Bay Area, mainly in a very predominantly Asian dance community. And it was really nice having all the different dance moms around for rehearsals or backstage because one, it exposed me to different types of home cooked meals. And two, I got to learn about all the different life lessons other families are teaching their kids. So I think that community parenting for those reasons is something I would like to share with other people.
Amy, what are you looking to like gain from MAG?
One thing that I'd be very excited to gain from MAG is exposure to different volunteering activities throughout, of course, the Bay Area, because I always look for ways to volunteer with especially the Asian community. And I think that means something different to everyone. But like I said in the beginning, I see a very diverse group of people able to support MAG. So I hope to be exposed to like-minded people in the MAG network.
Okay, now I'm gonna go poke your resume. You are listed down as a program director for the Bob Genentz, I'm probably mispronouncing his name already, Youth Leadership. So my question to you is, what is one challenge student leaders face today?
I think one challenge student leaders face today is I think they're actually so well connected and well informed, and I am so inspired by the young people I work with. But one challenge they face would be sometimes older, more senior professionals not trusting them enough to take on the responsibility they could in reality handle. So I think one challenge they face is advocating for themselves effectively. And I think advocating for yourself is something I've learned from pageantry, and it's something I constantly give to the students I work with.
All right then. Okay, unfortunately, we are closing in on your 7 minutes, darn it. So now we're going to switch it over to you. So do you have a question for us?
And I guess anyone can answer
Yes.
this, but what are you looking forward to for this cohort for MAG?
I have to answer this again.
That's your question, dear.
The best thing that for what we're looking for in the contestants is someone who is not just beautiful themselves, but also someone who is personality-wise strong and interesting. We, again, as you mentioned, we are very diverse in both backgrounds, educations, jobs, and all that. And so we value that too amongst our applicants and contestants to have that valued and featured there too. So.
And I think we mostly want really young women to come in with a really open mind and heart, right? I think this experience goes beyond the competition, goes beyond the stage, and to really like soak in all of the relationships and the community and the family that you create. And like you said, volunteering, activities and kind of just like really taking that all in to like enhance your personal development and professional development.
Amy?
I think just like for me, I think we're looking for someone who's like you said, open-minded and more like a role model. Like we're not looking for like someone who's like just pretty. Like we need to be able to like be a role model to like our future generation, to our community and stuff.
I always like articulate people. They make me. because one of the things is, in order, if everybody has really great ideas, but if you're unable to articulate the ideas and make it come across to the next person and you're trying to teach them in a manner of speaking, then it doesn't work. I mean, I'm sorry. The ones I always love to pick on are Congress people. So there you go. That's all I have to say about that. All right. But alas, your time is
Thank
up with us.
you.
And thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for coming in. And we hope to hear from you soon. All right. Okay. Thank you for coming in. Okay. So welcome, Jacqueline, and to the 2024 interview panel. All of us are going to be asking you questions to get to know you. And we have 7 minutes to ask you all these lovely questions. And starting off the panel will be Amanda.
Hello. I would love to know something that only your best friends know about you.
Like anything?
Anything you want to share.
Well, I was born in San Francisco and raised there for about 15-ish years.
Okay.
13 years, actually, if we're not counting like a little after that. And my parents got divorced, so that is why I moved to Castro Valley, where I go to high school now. And yeah, it's been a really big experience for me. So it has really changed my take on life and really developed my brain to how it is now.
I guess sort of expanding on that. Moving to Castro Valley, it sounds like it was a recent transition, so that was a pretty big move. How did you adapt to that sudden change?
So I actually struggled a lot because it was right after quarantine that I entered my sophomore year. So I was basically brand new at the school and I didn't have much social experience anymore. And so I struggled making friends. I developed a lot of anxiety and I found it hard to get used to the new school. So I struggled a lot with academics as well. But after kind of learning to cope with my anxiety and make new friends, I really overcame this. And although it's still in my life, it has been my driving factor to everything I do now. Like MAG, for example, it's something way out of my comfort zone, but it's something I really want to kind of change my course of life on and develop my self-image.
Okay. So my question for you is, what is one thing you wish people knew about you?
One thing I wish people knew about me is that I'm not quiet or judgmental, because sometimes I can come off as just quiet and seeming like I don't want to be a part of the conversation. But really, I have so many thoughts flowing in my brain about the conversation, but they just never make it out of my mouth, which is also something I'm working on to develop in my life, and also something that I feel that MAG can help me with.
So you view yourself sort of like an introvert then, right?
Yes.
We're all introverts here. We're just loud. That's all right. Okay, then your question is, and I noted that you are very enthusiastic about being an entrepreneur. So let's just say you're going to be running a workshop on becoming an entrepreneur. What do you want your people who attend? What do you want them to walk away with?
I would want them to walk away with the knowledge that they can be whoever they choose to be. Because for me, becoming an entrepreneur, the first obstacle I had to face was starting. And starting was really the biggest thing for me, because it was just like, how am I going to move on to the next step, and how am I going to find more knowledge about what I'm trying to do with my life. And I just feel that this is something that a lot of young people like me have to know, because just wanting to do something will be
kind of stuck in your brain forever, but really starting will kind of trigger everything else that comes after it. So that basically, yeah. is it.
Okay, thank you.
To piggyback off of that, I see that you're a founder of, how do you pronounce it? Figumi?
Yeah.
Okay. What I guess really propelled you to start a organization like this?
I actually love fashion and it's always been a great part of my life. So my closet was just like way too big. So I decided one day I needed to start selling these things, selling parts of my closet in order to fund back the money that I needed to, I guess, grow my closet even more.
Uh-huh.
And so I started by posting one item, and that one item led to 80 more. And I began making about 200 a week, I would say. And over the past 2.5 years, I made about 2 to 3K.
Cool. How did you come up with the name?
It was really random.
Okay. I didn't know it had meaning to it.
Yeah.
And part of your applications you sent in, you noted several times that you're pretty proud to be Burmese, but it also mentioned that you're half Burmese. Why focus on the Burmese side as opposed to, you know, both sides, you know, per se?
So I've always been very connected to my Burmese side because my parents were both born in Burma. But I just know a lot more of the language and the culture. I feel that I really embrace my Chinese side a lot more than my Burmese side in front of my peers. But my Burmese side is just something I'm way more connected to. I understand the language and I could probably speak some, but not very well. And I just eat Burmese food all the time. I also eat Chinese food, but it's just a lot more part of my personal life.
Amy?
I was wondering, what are you trying to get out of Meg? Like, what are you trying to get out? Yeah, that was my question. What are you trying to get out of Meg?
So when I was first introduced to Meg, it was something I shut down completely because knowing myself, I was very introverted and I just saw this as something that I could never pursue. But I followed my friend to some of the events of MAG and I learned that it's a very empowering and nurturing environment. And I felt that from my personality right now, I really wanted to grow into this new environment and learn more about myself and grow my self-image and confidence and be able to speak as well as the other people I saw on MAG.
So, unfortunately, we're closing in on your 7 minutes and it's, time flies and you're having fun. So we're going to switch it over to you. What question do you have for us?
I'm actually really curious how you all got into MAG.
I like to say we all stood in the wrong place in the wrong time. That's always
Entirely wrong.
Okay,
I think
come on.
Rose got all of us.
Yes,
Yeah,
Rose got all of us.
I was a title holder 13 years ago, but I come back every year to help because MAG has given so much to me that I want to give back to the organization and to this family that is so supportive all the time. And I like to help empower the next generation of Asian women.
Okay, Alex?
Rose made an offhand joke that I should come help out, and I said sure. And then 2 months of no contact is right before the pageant. She's like, "Hey, you still down to help?" sort of thing.
That sounds right.
But I do keep coming back more because I do value the fact that this is a community building event, and I do personally believe we should always get more involved in some sort of volunteer organization and everything. And this, just for better for worse, happened to be the one that I'm stuck with.
Yeah, there you go. Amy?
Well, I was the past delegate and a title holder, and I'm back because feel like during the time with like me being a delegate and like getting involved with MAG, I feel like MAG brought a lot to me, which is why I'm trying to give back. It's cycle, you know. And I just really enjoy being part of MAG, and like the community there is great, and yeah.
Oh, my excuse is I went to elementary school with her. Well, actually, the weird part of the whole thing is that she remembered me when I was in elementary school for long hair and everything. But besides that, I've known her for eons. We went to high school together, never in the same class. At least I don't think so. But the bottom line is that basically, if you know Rose, she will talk with you, and the next thing you know, you're part of it, and you wind up paying it forward because through her and from her and with her, you get to meet people. You have opportunities that it's up to you to take or not. And this is also a place where we give you the opportunity of working place. In a case in point, I would run the Dragon Boat Festival. And so there I have the opportunity of running a program. And then I always ask the various delegates, various title holders, hey, you want to go and be an MC for a cultural program? And they have a ball every year. So it's how we all got here is, yes, through Rose Chung. But the other thing is that it's also up to us whether or not we want to stay, and we stay every year. Right? Oh yeah, Francis, your
That we
turn.
do.
You need to also mention it. Why?
Why am I? I'm not.
Why?
I'm
Yeah,
on
how?
camera here.
That's okay.
That's okay. We don't care.
Why am I here? Why I come back every year? The food. I'm here for food. I told you I got 10 times. I'm here. I'm just here for the food.
Fortunately, that's a lot of volunteer jobs.
Yeah, there you go. We pay it forward. He gets fed, but he has to also put in the time. So it's not that.
I would
not
come
easy.
back for my food.
No such thing as free lunch.
Oh hell no, not in this
Or
group.
free water.
Okay, but anyway,
Thank you.
Jackie, thank you so much for coming in, and we look forward to chatting with you in the near future. All right.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, then. Thank you.